right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream. How's it going? All right. I decided to jump on here. I wanted to talk a little bit about movies and stuff tonight. So it's 10:20 at night. This one wasn't really planned. I kind of just had some stuff I wanted to talk about. So what's good, guys? We're going to be talking about some WGA stuff. We're going to be talking about the strike and how it lifted, the details on that. Martin Scorsese, obviously the thumbnail is Martin Scorsese, that old geezer, is talking shit about my MCU. Does he have a point, though? We're going to talk about that. We're also going to be talking about some Secret Wars stuff, Spider-Man. What else do we got on here? What the fuck? I don't even know what we're talking about. Hold on. Oh, and The Office is getting a reboot. We will discuss that a little bit too. How you guys doing? How is everybody? If you guys are watching live, I appreciate y'all for watching live. If you guys are just watching the chat replay or the live chat replay, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. So we've got a pretty good show going on. It's going to be quick. It's going to be like 30, 45 minutes just talking some movies. And hey, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We're going to be doing a bunch of live streams, just talking shit, talking movies. Thursday, I think we have a live stream. Hyder's going to be back. We finally are able to get Hyder on the show again. So, hey, if Hyder's not here, I'm just going to be running solo, talking movies and talking shit, man. So, I really love talking about movies. So, if that's you too, go ahead and feel free to subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications so you guys never miss another upload. Do all that YouTube shit for me. Yeah, we got a good show. It's going to be like 30, 45 minutes. Like I said, it's 10:22 at night and I'm very tired. I don't know why I'm drinking this. Let's just get a close up on that if you can. Yeah, there you go. I don't know why I'm drinking this right now, but I was originally supposed to be doing Uber tonight. But I was listening to a bunch of movie podcasts and stuff like that, and I was itching to talk about this stuff. And also Uber was slow as fuck tonight, really. So anyway, you guys don't want to hear about that stuff. Let's talk about some movies. Okay, what should we get into first? Let's see. Well, a couple comments came out from one of the most legendary filmmakers of all time, and it's not very great comments to hear, especially from a movie fan, not just a MCU like Marvel superhero movie fan, but just a movie fan in general. I don't like this kind of stuff, but hey, he came out and he's one of the legends. Right, he's some consider him like one of the greatest movie directors of all time, and yeah, man, he really is. So I feel like he has the merit to talk about this stuff. But Martin Scorsese, he has been very vocal about his stance on superhero movies, comic book movies, franchises. There was a report earlier that came out too that the film that he worked on with Warner Brothers, I think it was The Departed with Leonardo DiCaprio, they wanted to make a sequel to it, but Martin Scorsese obviously does not like doing sequels. He doesn't like doing franchises and stuff like that, so he stopped working with Warner Brothers because of that. Okay, so Martin Scorsese, as we know, is like 75 years old. Again, he's been making movies for years. He's made movies like Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Casino, Goodfellas, Wolf of Wall Street, just to name a few. He's got the upcoming Killers of the Flower Moon. Damn, I should have had an image for that one. He's got the upcoming Killers of the Flower Moon starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Florence Pugh, Jesse Plemons. Is Florence Pugh in that? I don't know if she's in that, actually. Anyway, Brendan Fraser is in that also. So it's going to be a really good movie. It's a 3.5-hour movie. I'm super fucking excited to see it. But yeah, he came out and did a little article with Variety here. Martin Scorsese says fight back against comic book movie culture by supporting directors like Christopher Nolan. We've got to save cinema. Okay. In a sprawling new profile with GQ, director Martin Scorsese discussed comic book and franchise culture, a topic which he has spoken out about at length in the past. Yeah, he's definitely said this before. I think it was, what was the movie that was coming out? what was the movie that was coming out? Not Silence. It might have been Silence, but he was talking about how comic movies aren't real movies, and like it's not cinema. And personally, hey, okay, I'm gonna get this out of the way right now. All respect to Martin Scorsese. I mean, the things that he's made, the movies that he's made, they're amazing. Okay, I haven't seen a lot of them. I still gotta do my homework, but he's got like 40 or 50, maybe 60 years of a backlog of movies, right, that I got to catch up on. And from the movies that I have seen of him, I love him. He's a really, really, really good director. That being said, dude, what the fuck is he talking about? Let's get into the quote here first. The danger there is what it's doing to our culture, because there are going to be generations now that think movies are only those. That's what movies are. That part right there, I kind of just disagree with, because a superhero movie is kind of like a genre, and a franchise movie is still kind of like a genre. It's an event. And anyway, he goes on to say they already think that, which means that we have to then fight back stronger. And then it's got to come with the it's got to come from the grassroots level, excuse me. It's got to come from the filmmakers themselves, and you'll have, the Safdie brothers. You'll have Chris Nolan, you know what I mean? And hit them from all sides, and don't give up. Let's see what you got. Go out there and do it. Go reinvent. Don't complain about it, but it's true. We've got to save cinema. I do think, the director also spoke out about streaming era's definition of content as opposed to actual cinema. I do think that Jesus Christ, I can't read today, guys. It's late. I do think that the manufactured content isn't really cinema, he said, adding, it's almost like AI making a film, and that doesn't mean that you don't have incredible directors and special effects people doing beautiful artwork, but what does it mean? What do these films, what will it give you? Aside from a kind of consummation of everything and then eliminating it from your mind, your whole body, so what is it giving you? Okay. He goes on to talk a little bit more. Okay, let's just focus directly on this quote right here. We have to fight back against this culture, this stuff. Okay, so he mentions Christopher Nolan, right? Does he know that Christopher Nolan made the Dark Knight trilogy? It's a franchise, and it's based on a comic book character. Obviously, look, I know the Dark Knight trilogy is different from most comic book movies, right? It's definitely super deep. It's definitely one of the better comic book trilogies, if not the best comic book trilogy of all time. So, he could have a point here with that one, but I mean, it's still a franchise. It's still a comic book movie based on a comic book IP. You can't pick and choose, right? You can't attack the entire genre, but be like, oh, well, I mean, these ones are kind of different, So Martin Scorsese, he's got a lot of shit to say about the comic book genre, the superhero genre. And you know what? I saw this tweet. Let me look it up real quick. I saw this tweet, and it made a good point. Obviously, sorry for for quoting a tweet as a source, but I thought it was interesting. Let me just go here real quick. Stay with me. Please stay with me. Damn, I repost a lot of shit. I gotta stop doing that. Stay with me. You guys can follow me on X if you want. You know what? Actually, I don't want you to follow me. Not gonna give you guys my social. Let's see. Where the fuck is it? Sorry, guys. 1 second. I'm just looking straight up for the tweet. Anyway, okay. Martin Scorsese was doing our culture there. Did I not repost it? Did I just like it? Oh, this is going to be so trash if I didn't do that. Damn. Okay, anyway. Damn, that was a waste of fucking time. So, this tweet basically was talking about how each era has like its own thing, right? So the 70s were like I think it said like gangster. 80s was more like the teen coming of age story, like the John Hughes kind of movies. That's what flooded the 80s. The 90s, it was more of, it just genre for every decade, right? 2000s was like the romantic comedy age. And then it also said that the 2010s were mainly superhero movies and like 3D movies, kind of, like big franchise movies. That's what the 2010s are about. And I saw that idea and I saw that tweet and I thought it was a good idea because that's kind of true. Like movies are all about gimmicks, right? So in the 50s, not the 50s, when did the talkie come out? The 20s, I believe. Don't quote me on this, but in the 20s or 30s or whatever, talkies started becoming a thing, right? So everybody started implementing that into it. And then, you had even color, right? That dating as far back as possible as you can. There's always these little trends that follow movies and superhero movies and these kind of movies like that. It's just what it is now. It is a trend. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of this trend, but it is a trend, So does Martin Scorsese have a kind of a point? Yeah, he does. But is it necessarily a bad thing to have this kind of trend? Because look, it's very good for the market, right? It's making a shit ton of money for studios. Obviously nowadays it's kind of slowing down a little bit, and people are complaining about how we don't have a lot of original movies and stuff like that. And this is something that Martin Scorsese has even touched on in the past too. However, I don't think that that's such a bad thing because we have been getting so many original movies and so many great original projects in the last 3-4 years, dating back all the way to 2019. I remember watching a bunch of it just because I worked at the movie theater, right? And that's, I was witnessing stuff firsthand. All these different kinds of movies. So maybe to the wider public, they think it's all just superhero movies because that's all they see. Marketers, they push that super, super hard. Whereas like the smaller films, like let's say Talk to Me, right? A24's Talk to Me that came out, the horror movie that came out. It wasn't marketed as much as a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So does Martin Scorsese kind of have a point there? Yeah, a little bit. Do I disagree with him though? Yeah, of course I disagree. Because to me, it just sounds like he's has a whole history, right? A whole history of just kind of hating on the fucking MCU. And not even just the MCU, just the comic book genre, the superhero genre. And he has stated before that he doesn't think that they're movies. Okay. Again, I take it as a case by case, right? I take it as case by case because you can nitpick a genre like horror, right? And you can have a really deep, makes you think kind of movie like Hereditary, horror movie like Hereditary, and then you could just have a slasher like fucking what's a fucking slasher off the top of my Halloween Kills, right? Just a regular slasher. Those two, both horror movies, right? Both horror movies, technically in the horror genre. However, one is different, one's more dense, one's deeper, and the other one's more blood and whatever, like more entertaining for the audience. So you can have the same kind of genre, and you can also be different, right? So I feel like it's the same thing for superhero movies and stuff like that. You can have a movie like The Dark Knight, and a lot of people love The Dark Knight, and you can also have something like, I don't know, Blue Beetle, right? Which is not as dense and not as like cinematic, but people love it. It's entertaining for the wide majority of audiences. Obviously, it didn't make that much money at the box office, but that's probably a bad example. But the wide audience can it's more of like a gateway drug, right? To movies. Okay, so if you go in watching Blue Beetle, right? You leave with a little bit of like thought, that movie really made me think about family. That movie really made me think about whatever. It's not super deep. It's not as deep as The Dark Knight or anything like that, but that's just kind of my take on it. Not all superhero movies are made alike. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania fucking sucked, but it's a superhero movie. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is a superhero movie, but that one feels more like a story about like trauma, whereas Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I don't even want to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Anyway, that's it for that, guys. What do you think? Martin Scorsese comes out with comments. What do you think about his comments on the superhero movie genre and comic book movie genre and the franchises nowadays? What do you guys think about that? Does he have a point? He kind of does, yeah. Let me know down below in the comment section. All right. Moving on. We got the WGA, the Writers Guild of America strike. That has, I believe, the number was 148 days. That has been going on for 148 days. You guys have obviously seen the news. You guys know that we haven't been getting projects because this strike has been going on for 148 days, 140 plus days, right? So the AMPTP versus the WGA, we finally got an agreement, and we're going to go over the details a little bit here. Let me go to the browser. All right. The WGA, the Writers Guild of America, on Tuesday disclosed the details of the tentative deal it secured with the major Hollywood studios to end the strike that has lasted for nearly 5 months. A 7-page summary document, which was distributed to the WGA's 11,500 film and TV writer members, includes increases in wages and residuals, as well as language addressing the union's demands for minimum staff in television writers' rooms, payments based on the success of streaming shows, and protections against the use of artificial intelligence. Okay. Let's go over the basic deal. They get higher pay. Okay, because I'm stupid, right? Hold on, let me go to my camera. I'm stupid, right? I don't get the super fucking detail, right? I don't get the super fine details, the fine print. Okay, I don't understand it. I'm just an average movie fan. I'm still learning about this stuff, so we're gonna read. Okay, we're gonna learn right now. But yeah, let's take a look. So they get higher pay. The 3-year film and TV contract raises basic wages by 5% in the first year, followed by 4% in year 2 and 3.5% in year 3. Select residual bases and minimums will get lower increases or single increases, the guild said. They also get streaming bonuses and data. So the contract establishes a system of providing bonuses to writers based on viewership on streaming services. That was a huge thing that they were fighting for because I think it was the writer for Orange is the New Black, a super popular show on Netflix. They didn't get the writer didn't get any residuals, even though like it's one of the most streamed Netflix shows of all time and yada yada yada. They get bonuses for stuff like that now, which is really good. Writers already receive residuals from shows made for streaming services, but the WGA wanted to establish a system that would reward scribes if their work drew huge viewership on Netflix, for example. The way compensation has typically worked on streaming services is that the producers get paid upfront, but don't get to participate in the wins. The guild sought to change that. In service of this goal, the WGA wanted streamers to be more transparent with viewership data, a central issue on the strike. The contract also allows the WGA to receive confidential viewership metrics for original streaming shows based on hours viewed. Aggregated data can be shared. Before, from what I know, Netflix and stuff like that, Netflix, Hulu, all the big streamers, they didn't want to disclose this information, so they didn't want to show these like writers how much people were actually watching the show, because the way that residuals work in film and TV, it's a little bit different because of how streaming works nowadays. Streaming kind of took over, and it's hard to kind of judge, at least what they thought. It was hard to kind of judge how they should pay residuals to writers, actors, stuff like that, directors, based on streaming numbers. So now they have more transparency for that. And, Netflix and stuff. Let's just say Netflix, for example. Netflix is more obligated to show them, hey, Orange is the New Black has like 5 million viewers or whatever. So we can give you residuals based on this number. Before, from what I know, before this deal was made, they didn't even have to say that. At least from what I know. Don't quote me on that. Okay. Also, minimum staffing. This one was a huge one. The contract sets minimum staffing requirements for TV writers' rooms depending on the length of the season. For series with up to 6 episodes, 3 writers must be hired, for example. For shows of 13 or more episodes, the minimum staffing is 6 writers, which can include 3 writer-producers. The minimum employment of writers per episode applies to the greenlighted shows unless a single writer is employed to write all episodes of a season, the document said. So basically, writers are getting more help, right? They get hired for a job, and they're able to bring in more writers to their writer's room. That's a really good thing. One of the biggest complaints among screenwriters going into contract negotiations was that in the streaming era, TV seasons have gotten shorter and writers' rooms have shrunk, like I just said. That has meant fewer opportunities for writers who have to cobble together one job after another to make a living. The increased use of mini rooms, I don't know why they put it in quotes, I'll look that up later, in which a team of writers breaks down a season of a show before production starts. Before production starts, has limited the ability of early career writers to gain experience on TV production. So again, all around win. I feel like this whole deal just benefits writers more than it benefits AMPTP, which is honestly what we were hoping for, right? Next is a huge controversial topic with AI. The new WGA contract includes language that regulates the studio's use of AI, but also provides flexibility to the guild's members. Companies must disclose to writers if any material given to a writer has been generated by AI or incorporates AI-generated material, according to the guild's document. The use of artificial intelligence has become a fraught topic in the entertainment industry, with studios finding ways to make the development and production process more efficient. The rapid rise of ChatGPT and other programs like that, and other examples of generative AI technology has taken center stage for writers who believe such efficiencies threaten screenwriter employment. This was among the final and most difficult deal points to hammer out. Neither side wants to lock itself into contract language that would backfire in 3 years. So basically from that, they added some provisions to it, to the use of AI, because the deal only lasts for 3 years. And in 3 years, who knows what'll change with artificial intelligence, but really the big thing I think that they're afraid of is studios just not hiring human writers at all, and that's the big picture, right? That's what people are mainly afraid of, is that they'll just use major studios will just use AI to make their movies, and that's the big fear. I don't think we're gonna see that happen, because from what we know, AI has been kind of shit when it comes to like writing and stuff like that. It helps a lot, and I think that that's what they're trying to get at. It added some language in the contract that allows writers to use AI as a tool to help them write, and studios, they are going to have to like really specifically say, hey, you guys can use AI or something like that. I don't know. The point is that AI is just like a very not touchy subject, but there's a very thin line when you have to use it and stuff like that in contract, and you're just gonna have to wait and see for the next 3 years and see how AI changes and how it can benefit the movie industry, and how it can also be more detrimental to the industry. So yeah, that's just more of like a wait and see kind of thing in my opinion. But that's basically all the points. The WGA, really good win in my opinion for them. They get more pay. They have less work, quote unquote less work. It's not as stressful of a job now because they get bigger writers' rooms, and the AI stuff, and then also the residual stuff, man. So I think that it's overall a really, really big win for the WGA. Congrats to them. We still have a strike on SAG-AFTRA right now. So that I don't know when that's going to happen, but apparently rumors are saying, that the SAG strike might end in a week or so. We'll see. But that's the next big thing. SAG, we'll cover it here on the channel. Hey guys, so hold on. Sorry guys, sneeze. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Where was I? So yeah, guys, that's basically it for the WGA. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm going to go pee, and we're gonna be right back. Okay? Don't go anywhere. Okay. All right, everybody. Hi. How's it going? Oops. Wrong one. Okay, guys. So let's get back straight into it, okay? Yeah, let me just let's go back. Okay, so welcome back from the break, everybody. Usually at that time we would have spots for a sponsor. So hey, if you guys are looking for a sponsorship, I'm right here, guys. I can make a really cool video for you guys if you guys want. Let me know. The Gmail is in our bio. Testing? Okay, we're good. All right. So let's move on here. I'm getting very tired. We've been going for about 30 minutes, so we got about 15 more minutes to be talking about some shit. Let's get into this, man. So, next topic. The Office. Now, with that writer's strike new deal coming up, we are finally able to get more news on stuff that has been happening in the background and stuff like that. And one of those things that was happening in the background while the strike was going on, or before the strike started, was The Office is getting rebooted. I don't know why. However, there's language in here that makes me think a little bit more. Let's go straight into it, okay? So, The Office. This article comes from The Collider. The Office is reportedly set to be rebooted with the original showrunner attached. Okay. The original showrunner attached of the original show makes it seem like this is a reboot, as in like like bringing back characters and bringing back Michael Scott, bringing back what's his name, Dwight, bringing back Jim, Pam, all those guys. It's so easy. The fuck? Sorry. Bringing back all those guys. Okay. If that's what's happening, that's pretty cool, right? All of the cast, from what I know, have said that they wanted to come back, or they're willing to come back. The only one that I think wouldn't really come back as much is John Krasinski, because he's kind of busy, doing a bunch of stuff, doing a bunch of directing work and stuff and all that. So the original showrunner part makes me feel like that is one of the reasons why the original cast can come back. If it's not the original cast, and maybe they're doing like a whole new kind of thing and just The Office, right? But it's a different office, it's a different company, a different mockumentary. Could that work? Yeah, it could. I mean, the premise is kind of simple. It's a documentary following workers in an office, right? If you really want to lay it down, so you could do a different story. And you could have new characters in a new office, in a new workspace. That could be an idea. But overall, I want to know what you guys think about this, because I have only watched like 5 episodes of The Office. From what I've seen, it's cool. I like it. I suck at watching streaming shows. I still have not finished The Bear. I just started picking back up on Winning Time. It's funny because, Winning Time, they just got canceled. And now I'm watching it. Anyway, I'm curious about this because I want to know if it's the original cast or if they're doing like what I said, a reboot, an actual like reboot, not a revival, a reboot, and like new characters, new setting, all that, new actors, all that. I wonder. I really wonder. Are you guys interested in something like this? Because, I'm not that big of a fan of The Office. I know a lot of people who are. Chris, shout out to Chris. He's a huge fan of the fucking Office. Apparently, he's watched the entire series like 10 times, maybe. Could be more. I honestly think it could be more. But let me know, man. Let me know what you guys think about The Office getting rebooted. Just a quick little story I wanted to bring to your guys' attention there. All right. Let's get into our next subject here. So Secret Wars is one of those movies that got delayed because of the strikes and stuff, and also just because Marvel was a little bit too happy and gave this a 2025 release date. I don't know if that was a good, choice. But they pushed it back, ended up getting pushed back all the way to 2027, which is a really good thing. Now, we don't know a lot about Secret Wars. I mean, obviously, the comics and stuff, you can look those up, but we don't know what's really happening with this iteration, the MCU version of Secret Wars. Are they going to do the Molecule Man stuff? Are they going to do Doom? Are they going to do Battle World? That kind of stuff. I actually have all was it 12 issues down over there in a little container. I want to put it up here, dude, so bad. My dad read those comic books all the time, and yeah, man, it's fucking crazy. So I just want to know what they're doing with this stuff, okay? As a whole, I don't know what Phase 4 and Phase 5, the multiverse saga, has really been leading up to. Like, I don't know the kind of theme that they're going with here. Phase 1, 2, and 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe led up to the Avengers and setting up the Avengers. And then, obviously it led to Thanos and then the climactic showdown against Thanos. What is happening here with the multiverse saga? Granted, it's only been 2 years, okay? So let's give it some time. Let's give it some more time. The original Infinity Saga spent, 10 years in the making? Let's give it a little bit more time. But at least in Phase 1, you knew where this was headed. You knew it was headed towards the Avengers. And then when it headed towards there, when we got there, you knew it was going towards Thanos. Okay, so we haven't got that, really. I feel like Phase 4 has been telling separate stories, which was cool, right? I mean, that's what Marvel fans everywhere have been asking for a really long time. Tell separate stories, singular stories that don't necessarily need a through line. So we got a little bit of that. And then we got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It was supposed to kind of set up Kang as the big bad, and it was supposed to give us our first peek into what the multiverse saga was leading towards. It didn't do that, to me at least. I got something in my eye. It didn't do that, though. Honestly, what I think gave us more of a clear direction was Kevin Feige getting on stage at D23 announcing, hey, we're doing Secret Wars in the Kang Dynasty. That, to me, gave us a little bit more insight on what's actually going on here. Okay, well, what's actually going on? Apparently, there are rumors that after Secret Wars, the culmination of Secret Wars is actually leading to a reboot of the MCU, of the entire MCU. A lot of people have been speculating that this movie, Avengers Secret Wars, is going to be the last hurrah of not only the MCU, but the Fox characters and stuff too, that everything that came before the MCU. Kevin Feige's huge hurrah. Kevin Feige's final movie is going to be Secret Wars, saying goodbye to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, saying goodbye to Patrick Stewart's. He's basically going to do Endgame, but for the Fox stuff, and then kind of do a soft reboot for the MCU as we know it. At least that's the rumor. Is that cool? Fuck yeah, it's cool. It's kind of cool. I love the fact that Kevin Feige is going back, because Kevin Feige started off as a producer on the Blade movie, I think. Don't quote me on that, but the early superhero movies. Before we knew Kevin Feige as the huge mastermind of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he was a producer and working on these movies beforehand. So, he has history with the Fox X-Men. He has history with, all those superhero movies, like the Sony Spider-Man movies, right? So, what do I think about this? What do I think about this? Should it happen? I mean, it should. Yeah, kinda, because this is a franchise that's been going on for about, when this movie comes out, when it's scheduled to come out, about 2027. It would have been going on for about 19 years. Isn't that fucking crazy? 19 years. The MCU would have been going on for 19 years at that point. So can I see them doing a reboot? Yes. Easily, I can see them doing a soft reboot or a reboot or whatever they do, maybe a hard reboot. I can see it. I can actually see the MCU definitively ending. Should it happen? I don't know. From a business standpoint, does it make sense? Now let's fast forward to 2028 and let's just say Secret Wars makes $4 billion. Okay, I don't know, some kind of fucking number. $4 billion. At that point, do you really still want to reboot? I mean, do you really want to stop making these movies? Depending on how Secret Wars kind of closes the chapters for everything and wraps up all the storylines, then okay. That would be a good play. You know how Endgame kind of just wrapped up all of that, all of those threads and kind of left questions for what's to come? If Secret Wars just wraps up all the threads and there are no questions left after that, then I can see them rebooting and just say, hey, this is our new Iron Man, this is our new Captain America, this is our new Spider-Man in this universe. You're going to have to deal with it. I can see them doing it. But if this movie, if Marvel movies all the way up until Secret Wars makes a shit ton of money, I don't see them wanting to end. Like let's say let's say Sam Wilson becomes super popular after Captain America Brave New World. And Anthony Mackie is just the hottest star, right? Do you want to recast him? Like, legitimately, would you want to recast him if he's like the hottest star? It all really just depends on what happens. As far as the ending of the last hurrah of the Fox stuff, that's a brilliant idea, I think, right? You get nostalgia, you bring back heroes, because after Tony Stark and after Steve Rogers left the MCU, after those actors also left the MCU, you're kind of left with like no star power really in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think the biggest star right now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe probably is Tom Holland. And we're going to get to that later because that makes a lot of sense. But that's probably the biggest movie star, which is Tom Holland. Who's the main actor in the MCU right now? I mean, I don't know if anybody can really tell me that. So I feel as though if they are going to reboot, it's a good idea, right? You can start clean. You can start like how you started the MCU back in Iron Man with brand new actors. I mean, not really brand new, but like less known actors. Start it up. You can do a whole new story. You can start it off maybe with the X-Men. Maybe the X-Men is that reboot, and we just focus on the X-Men for a little bit with the Avengers coming in instead of the other way around, like how we've been, because we haven't even got the X-Men yet in the MCU. And I know Kevin Feige loves the X-Men. Oh, the Fantastic Four, bro. Like, Kevin Feige loves these two properties. There's no fucking way he would reboot. He wants to play with the Fantastic Four and the X-Men in the MCU. Like, there's no way he doesn't want to do that. But if he does reboot, you know, he can have all of his toys all at once from the very beginning. You know? So he can have the X-Men, he can have the Fantastic Four, and he can have the Avengers all at once. Because back in 2012, he didn't own the rights to the X-Men or the Fantastic Four. So in 2012, when the first Avengers movie was made, a lot of people were asking, hey, can they bring in X-Men and Fantastic Four there? They could have helped a lot in that fight against the Chitauri. Well, they didn't own it. But now, after Secret Wars, hey, Kevin Feige and Marvel and Disney, they own everything, right? So they can have everything on their plate all at once. There you go. So, yeah. It's a good idea, I think. Do I want to see it happen? I don't know, honestly. This is just a discussion that you kind of have to see till the very end to get like a good point. Because I really don't know. So, yeah. One more question. Will anybody care if the MCU reboots? By the time 2027 comes around, because like we were talking about Martin Scorsese, and I was saying that like every decade has like a different trend, has like a different genre that is popping, right? Are people even going to care about superhero movies and stuff? Are people even going to care about Marvel at that point? You know, DC's coming up really, really, really fast. Maybe they can, hey, take advantage of the fact that MCU is ending. Come watch our shit. DC. That could take over. Who knows, man? So will anybody care? We'll just have to wait and see. What do you guys think about this, man? What do you think about the Avengers movies and the Marvel Cinematic Universe rebooting after Secret Wars? I think it's a very intriguing idea. Again, man, we're just going to have to wait and see. All right. Our final topic of the day. I'm going to kind of wrap this one up a little bit. It kind of goes in with Secret Wars. So I might as well just, put it all in one. I was talking a little bit about Spider-Man, right? And how Tom Holland was kind of the face, the biggest actor in the MCU, the biggest actor that the MCU has right now. And it makes sense. Well, there are reports that Spider-Man would be the lead in Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars now. These came out from Scoopers. I believe it was either Can We Get Some Toast or My Time to Shine, Hello, that came out and said, hey, no, Spider-Man's going to be the lead in these two movies, in the next Avengers movies. It could be true. It could not. Who knows? They're not going to be Spider-Man movies, but as we said in Avengers and stuff, one of your leads was Captain America. One of your leads was Iron Man. One of your leads was Doctor Strange, stuff like that. So I think it makes a lot of sense to have Tom Holland Spider-Man as the main guy. I'm a huge fucking Spider-Man fan. Spider-Man's my shit. All right, huge Spider-Man fan. Of course I'd fucking love to see Spider-Man as the lead in these two Avengers movies, but does it make sense? Yes, it does. Okay? Yes, it does. First of all, Spider-Man, from what I know, other than Loki, and Loki was somewhere completely different, in Loki season 1 at least. Spider-Man was the first one in the MCU to actually like open up the multiverse. He had variants coming in. Obviously, you had Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming in to join Spider-Man No Way Home. You had all those villains from the other universes come in too. So you had Doc Ock, the Lizard, Sandman, Jamie Foxx's Electro. You had Green Goblin. And he kind of has the most experience other than Doctor Strange and maybe other than Loki with the actual multiverse and what this can really do, right? He's had experience with another version of himself, not just one, but two. So I think if they are planning on making Spider-Man, if these rumors are true, and again, these are just rumors, I'm just speculating and I'm just kind of theorizing here. If this turns out to be true, I mean, that's pretty fucking sick, in my opinion. Like, just think about Tom Holland Spider-Man. Okay, we're already getting the trilogy, right? His next trilogy. We're getting Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6. His college trilogy, we'll see if that pans out and we'll see if it's actually his college trilogy. But just think, if we get the college trilogy and we get Spider-Man leading the fucking Avengers, not leading the Avengers. I don't think he's going to lead. Let me just put my camera on real quick. I don't think Spider-Man is actually going to lead the Avengers. I think he's going to be a primary focus in these Avengers movies. You know, so let me say this again. I don't think Spider-Man is going to be the leader of the Avengers because that's what his whole trilogy was about, right? In Spider-Man Homecoming, he didn't want to be a part of the Avengers because he didn't want to be, skipping out on his teenage life. Spider-Man Far From Home, Tony Stark died. Who's going to lead the Avengers? Not me, right? That's kind of what it was about. And then Spider-Man No Way Home, finally pushing that point. Yeah, I'm not the leader, but I am still Spider-Man. So focusing on a guy like that, someone who has so much experience in multiverse stuff and variants, and he's also not the leader of the Avengers, dude, I think that's fucking genius. I really hope that happens. Again, man, Spider-Man is my favorite fucking character. He's the shit. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man too. And again, if Secret Wars with the rumors and stuff, if that's really what's going to happen with all the Fox people and them getting their farewell, and what's stopping them from doing Sony's Spider-Man getting their farewell also? Secret Wars is going to be fucking lit. It's going to be lit. It's going to be fucking crazy though. Who knows though? I'm ready to be disappointed. Other than that, man, I don't know. Do you guys want to see Spider-Man lead the Avengers? Do you guys want to see him be a lead in the Avengers movies? Can you see it? I can see it. I can definitely see it. He's definitely one of the more established characters in the MCU right now, other than, let's say, what do we have? Like Loki, he's well established. Doctor Strange, he's well established in the MCU right now. Sam Wilson as Captain America, he still has some time. So, I mean, you really only have a few choices that you can make for your lead character in these Avengers movies. And I think Spider-Man is a very good choice. And there were also leaks about Tom Holland's new deal. And he might have signed a 5-picture deal. Right? So that could mean, with Sony, they share the rights with Disney. So that 5-picture deal could mean a trilogy, his college trilogy, and then Avengers Kang Dynasty, and then Avengers Secret Wars. it'd be very smart to utilize Tom Holland as Spider-Man in those two movies, right? Avengers: Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, as a lead to get the most out of his appearances in the Spider-Man movies and Spider-Man in the MCU. Excuse me. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that that can happen? Do you think Spider-Man can lead and be in the Avengers movies as a lead? Let me know down below in the comments. All right, y'all. Well, that does it for me. Okay, it is 11 o'clock at night. But I'm super happy that I got to talk movies today. I absolutely love talking movies, and I'm glad that you guys love talking movies also. Hey, before we get out of here, I just wanted to do the YouTube stuff. If you guys liked the content, if you guys liked the video, go ahead and like the video down below. Comment what you guys want to see next. We're open to all suggestions. And yeah, man, so we have a live show coming up on Thursday. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of just trying to do as much as I can. I haven't really ironed out a schedule yet, but once I do, you guys are going to be the first to hear. You guys can follow us on Instagram at the Playback Podcast. It'll be down below in the description. Thursday, we have a live show. Hyder's going to be joining us, so that's going to be very fun. Once again, subscribe to the channel if you guys never want to miss another upload. We're going to be talking movies and shit all the time, so come and join the conversation with me. I appreciate you guys listening, and I'm really excited to talk about movies with you guys again. Other than that, I have nothing else to say. I appreciate y'all, and have a great night. Thanks for talking. That's too loud. My fault. Let me do that again. That's too fucking loud. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next video.